Hey, welcome back to the channel. I had to come make this video. I got a little fired up. I just came in from a late flintlock hunt. Was on my property in a shanty here. I had 10 deer come in on me, like now, all at the same time, 10 minutes before dark. And I saw some deer out the east window, and I was watching them. And it didn't seem like they was going to come to me, so I kind of gave up on that, and I turned around and I looked out the north window, and I saw a big doe, like standing there like a statue, just looking my direction, or what I thought was my direction. And I saw a couple more filtering out of the brush behind her, and there was 4 there. So I turned, got in the north window with the flintlock, and I charged the pan, because I learned that lesson the other night, because I had wet powder and the gun went click. So I charged the pan, cranked her back, and I'm watching this lead doe, and she's acting kind of funky, kind of nervous, and we had like a 5-minute standoff there where I thought she was staring at me. Here, she was looking past me in the shanty at those other 6 deer across the valley. And what I didn't know was, here they come. They came out of the valley, off that hillside. They came down through the valley and was already down in my food plot. Now, let me explain a few things. There's a couple of places down there I can't shoot certain directions. There's some camps in the distance and things, and I know it's a muzzle loader, but I try to observe the 150-yard thing, the safety zones and things like that, or just being safe, let's put it that way. So they came down in the valley, and here the deer were doing a stare-off on each other is what was happening. And that lead doe with the 6, she was already in a food plot with 2 little ones, and 3 more were coming off the hill. And so I'm sitting there, and now I'm like torn. I don't know which window to get in, It seemed like these 6 to my right out the east window was going to come right below me. So I ducked out of the window, the north window, and I got the gun into the east window. And at some point while I was moving, because I took my eyes off her for a second, she turned and started leading the deer off into another direction. Okay, so here's my thing. I enjoy shooting the lead doe, and here's why. That is probably the older, or matriarch, patriarch, however you want to say that. She's probably the nanny, the granny, whatever. She's probably the one. She's leading the pack for a reason. She's either the smartest, the oldest, or the wisest. And she is the one that's teaching these other deer behind her how to survive. And I always want to take that one out. That way, I'm not saying because the rest of them are going to be stupid then, but what I'm getting at is I want to take that lead doe out any chance I get. Usually she's the biggest anyhow. But let me progress and tell you what happens. So they come into some grapevines below me, and I'm not worried about the other 5. And over here, this group of 4 over at the other window, I'm not worried about the 3 behind her. I'm shooting for number 1 doe, the lead doe. I want that lead doe or that lead doe at this window. That's what I strive to shoot for, okay? And so this one's facing me head on, and this one's in the grapevines facing me head on. But these ones are right below me. So, like I said, I switched to this window. She's head on. And the only time she turned broadside was behind a tree. You talk about smart. And when she turned to leave, she whirled. So I didn't even have a chance. And there was a couple bigger ones with her, but I want that lead one. Okay, so I gave up on that window, and I moved over to this window. And when those deer bugged and got nervous, these four over here started to bug and get nervous, and the lead doe over here whirled and started to walk straight away from me. Well, just about then there was a shot down in the woods below me. I don't know if somebody was unloading their gun or if they had shot at a deer or what. But these ones froze. Now they're all facing straight away from me. And at that point, those six that were going down through the woods away from me, they turned and came back. And the same exact scenario played out. They came up into those grapevines. The lead doe, she comes up head on again. Smart as she is, she's throwing her head in the air. She's smelling. It's so cold. My scent's blowing straight to her, and she gets nervous and turns and goes away. Okay, I didn't have a shot. So, not only that, but like I said, last Monday, the exact same scenario played out where they came into those grapevines and that lead doe stood there, totally broadside, 30 yards, and the gun went click. Wet powder in the pan. It was a real rainy, wet day, and I charged the gun when I went into the shanty, and I sat there for 2 hours before I tried to take a shot. And the rock dropped, and I had a fizzle, and that was it. Gun didn't go off. So anyhow, I said all that to say this. There's a certain YouTuber out there, and I'll just say it, he calls himself the Whitetail Guy, and I agree with almost 100% of the stuff that he talks about all the time. And I read something this week, and I totally disagreed with him. He was saying about how you can't control your deer population by shooting does, and he doesn't agree with shooting does. He especially wouldn't shoot the big nanny does because they're the ones that teach all the young does how to survive and all. And that's the exact reason why I want to kill her. You know, she's training them when they come past my shanty to look up, you know, to see if I'm hanging out a window with a barrel, you know, and that type of thing. But I mean, I understand he's doing it from a different standpoint, you know. He's I don't know what his ultimate goal is, but he says he only shoots bucks on his property, and that's fine, and that's the plan that he has. But my plan around here is, I see, you know, 20, 30 doe to a buck. You know, I would like to take out some does, and if I'm going to take out a doe, I want to take out the lead doe. The big one, the smart one, the wise one, the one's teaching all the other ones. I want to take her out. What's your thoughts on this? You know, I got a little wound up. I was excited. I'd come back to the house and was telling my boy about it. You know, I was all fired up, and they're asking me how come I'm not out there getting deer. Well, that's one of the reasons why, is because I'm trying to kill the lead doe with my doe tags. And it doesn't always work because they're wise. Let's put it that way. And so far, they're beating me. So that's the reason for the video. What do you guys do? Do you just shoot any doe to fill a tag? Do you just only shoot big does? What's your thoughts? Drop the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later on the next one.